beautiful song. See, we're throwing all the way back these songs. Jay calls it yesterday's
Yesterday's hits,
today's classics. And I love that. I love that. You're welcome back to the show right here on MX24. It is the AM Club. We're moving straight to our Lifestyle Daily segment. But before we do that, and today, what we're talking about is essential first aid tips, critical skills for emergencies. I know that sometimes you're looking at what we will do if something happens to someone in our homes, and we're wondering what is the best thing to do when we encounter an accident. What do we do first? What are the first things to do before the person is sent to the hospital? All these conversations are quite important to our health, and so we're definitely going to touch on that right after this. And so, yeah, are you a business owner in Accra looking to optimize your operations? Join us for a special conference on Tuesday, July 23rd, all about digitalizing your company using Odoo. Many companies in Accra are switching to Odoo to streamline their processes and increase their revenue. Did you know that the average company uses 14 different apps to run their businesses? This can lead to poor communication, lack of integration, and limited visibility, costing up to 30% of your revenue. At our conference, you will discover the new features of Odoo 17 and learn how it can help your business. You will get an interactive demo of Odoo 17, tips and tricks from digital experts, success stories from local businesses, a Q&A session with our expert, and networking opportunities definitely going to be available. We're going to be meeting CEOs, name brands are all going to be there so you can interact and, of course, exchange numbers. You know, it's very necessary. Don't miss this chance to transform your businesses at the event to your calendar and join us at Accra Marriott Hotel, 6 p.m. on July 23rd. 2024, happening straight at Marriott Hotel. Don't miss it. I said 6 p.m. everybody's seated, so 5:30 in Wira, Marriott Hotel, Martinasi. Let's have a great time. Like I said earlier, we're going straight to our conversation this morning, and it's all about first aid. And joining us for the conversation is Ebenezer Ato, First Aid Instructor, Care Unit, First Aid Services. Good morning.
Good morning.
Mr. Ato, how are you doing?
Good.
I asked you earlier if you are family members with Chris Ato and the co.
Yes, I am.
So we have an actor in the house this morning. Thank you so much for coming. When we were thinking about this conversation, so many things had happened. Jay was very worried. He was like, we cried. We even know what to do when someone is having a heart attack. And he was very worried. Then the conversation came up.
I am worried because, I mean, there's been so many times where people would just fall off all of a sudden. You get me? And we've had even conversations right here on the show where we've dealt with, a lot of people, and all they come in and they say, oh, I have a particular condition. And when someone has a condition, I mean, it's quite personal. So sometimes you don't really know that this person has this condition until maybe there's a seizure or there's something that happens. And you're like, hey, now where's you free? You get me? What do I do at that point? And it's been a scare because we in every institution, in schools, in anywhere, in offices, wherever you may find yourself, even in the streets.
Yeah.
You are at the bus stop, somebody's just close to you, all of a sudden a person falls down. What do you do?
I can't knock someone, you don't know what to do.
That's
what has informed us that's the topic for this morning. And so this morning, let's kickstart this way. What are the most basic, essential first aid skills everybody should have? Like one that it should be at the fingertips of everyone.
Okay. The basic one, I would say, we have an acronym. We call it DRS ABC, Doctors ABC. Okay. It's a basic you should know. You should know DRS ABC, and I'm going to explain it.
Okay,
so the D is danger. Whenever you get to a scene of an emergency, you need to check out for danger. You do a quick sense survey. If the place is not safe, you don't have to approach. It's very necessary. There's been incidents where people didn't look out for danger. There's a fire, they rush in to save someone, they become the next victim. So it's very necessary for you to check out for danger. In as much as even the police, they get to a scene, they want to look out for danger first before they approach. So it's very necessary. Okay. Then after you checking for your danger, you check for response. That is R. Remember I'm saying doctors ABC.
Yeah.
So I'm doing it step by step. So the response, you want to give a verbal command. Sometimes the incident might be a bit far from you. Hello. If I know your name, I'm Eben. Eben, Hey Ben, I just want to see if you are responsive, that there's nothing happening to you before I come closer. If the place is safe, I give a verbal command that is checking for response and there's no response. I could come closer to you and gently tap. Can I pick up my dummy and do it? So in our local settings, it's a normal thing for us to shake you violently. Hey, Kofi Papa, ooh, oh. No, but in our first aid, we are saying tap and call gently. Hello, Eben. Eben is not responding. Then there's an S, DRS.
Yes.
You send for help or you call for help.
Okay.
Sending for help doesn't mean there should be someone available. Say, Ezi, go call me this man. So you can just pick your phone and then call an ambulance.
Yeah.
If there are people around, bystanders, you can ask someone, oh, please, can you go and call for help? Sometimes you might need an AED. I'll come back to it. There's an AED. You can ask someone, if there's an AED, can you please go get us an AED? Okay. And then the next thing is A, DRS, A. Okay. So A is airway. You want to open the airway and check if the person is breathing. That is B. So you open the airway because when you fall unconscious, all muscles in your neck, everything relaxes. Then your tongue, people say it will roll back, but it doesn't literally roll like you're rolling something. It falls back, blocks your airway, because in your throat you have two parts. You have where the air goes through, you have where food goes. So esophagus and then trachea. Remember your SS signs.
You're funny serious. boss.
So there's a part. So it's this is the evidence. Sometimes you are eating, you are talking at the same time. The food comes out of your nose, especially rice, because it misses its way. It should go through the esophagus, misses its way to the airway, and then comes through your nose. So you want to open airway. I'll demonstrate it. And check if you are breathing not less than 10 seconds. So we do what we say, look, listen, and feel. So whenever we breathe, our chest will rise and fall. That's what I'm looking at. Look, listen. I want to listen with my ears if there's any sound, like hissing sound. And then feel with my cheeks if there's any air coming out of your nostrils. Okay, so that's what I'm doing. And then I'm going to, from B, I'm going to C. Once you are not breathing, I start compression. It's called compression or circulation. So these are the basic ones. If you don't know anything about first aid, when you get there, just have in mind, I'm going to do DRSABC.
So DRSA, first you check for danger.
Danger, thank you.
R, you check for response. S,
you send for help.
You send for help.
Okay.
Then the A,
Airway.
And then
B,
B,
you check for breath.
you check for breath.
Yes. And then C.
And C,
Yes.
C.
Compression or
Compression
circulation.
and
Okay.
or circulation.
Your
Or
circulation.
circulation.
So when we go further, I might be adding a D or an S.
Okay.
But let's be
Depending
here.
on
Yes.
what,
Yes, depending on where we are.
Right, so
we'll
these are
add
the basics.
basic ones.
Once
yeah.
you enter it, make sure you check for danger because you don't
Yes,
want to be the next
it's
victim
very
trying
necessary.
to help someone else.
Yes.
Yeah. Today we are going to take step by step. I hope you're writing because people like to do this. I for once, something like this happened to me. China Mall, I'm going to buy something and then once in fact, I met this guy inside the mall and he was so rude to his wife. So already my son and I were upset with somebody we don't know.
Yeah.
And we're all ranting. We came out and it turns out that he drove right in front of me. So he was the car that went out before me. And then he ran into a motorbike.
Wow.
And he was you could see that the guy is furious. He's not, like he's angry, talking, so he was not watching. Ran into the guy, and the guy fell off, but he tried to block it with his hand. So he didn't fall face but he broke his hand. And then he has some scratches. Because already we are obsessed with this guy, I just moved straight. The way I drove and I went to park, I was in a hurry going to see what happened. Like, because you can't go and kill somebody because you were upset.
Yeah.
I ran to the scene before I realized that, oh my God, anything could have happened to me and my son at this point. And so this is very correct.
Yeah.
I could have been the next victim
yeah.
trying to help someone else. Yes. Right, Jay.
But in the space of trying to help the person, is it? I mean, the danger scene. You would always rush in because you were trying to help, especially when I'll say this for the men, because it's attributed for us that we are the one protecting. So
Fearless.
Fearless. So whatever happened, I mean, I am moving straight. You get it. But in that space, record-wise, is it always that when danger is there, I mean, the person becomes a victim? Is that the case? I mean, looking at what maybe you have, seen or known history-wise, is that the case?
I'll say 90% of the time, if you don't check out for danger, you be the second victim.
Wow.
Yes. So in Ghana, as they are saying, the first thing people in Burma, bro, and as in Burma as we are, you don't check out for anything.
Yeah.
Especially, I have witnessed drowning where people rush to save the person, and the thing turn around.
Yeah.
Because probably you didn't check out for danger at the beach, you didn't check the waves, nothing, or there were lifeguards, but because you were closer, oh, me a Burma, let me go and save.
Yeah.
And then it turns around, and luckily for them, the lifeguard sees, quickly rush to save the saver.
Who saves the saver?
Who saves
The
the
life,
saver?
yes.
For the skills that you've taught us that we should learn, how often should we refresh these things? Because again, times are evolving. People say that technology is here. How often should we refresh these ideas of first aid so that we stay in touch with time?
Okay, so ideally, you need to have a refresher course every 2 years.
For every individual.
Yes, every individual. But in some industries, especially these oil and gas, they prefer you taking a course or refresher course every year. Because first aid is dynamic. It keeps changing.
Yeah.
We have the European Resuscitation Committee, the American, what's their name? American Heart Association. They keep researching into first aid and bringing out better methods than the previous. So I'll give you an example. Previously, I'll say like 10, 15 years ago, with infants, they were saying, if you want to perform CPR on infants, do 15 chest compressions. But they realized it's not effective. Their research. So they came back and say, oh, do 30 just like the way you do 30 for an adult. But this is the process or the procedure you do your 30. You don't do it just like the way you do, or you don't exert the same pressure you exert on an adult, on a baby. So you need to be updating your first aid regularly. In other countries, the advanced countries, it's compulsory. You're a teacher, you're a public worker, it's compulsory for you to have a first aid training. But in Ghana, it's now catching up because we don't have a strict first aid law that would have to say you need to have a first aid certificate or you need to have a first aid training before you do this kind of work.
Yeah.
Yes.
In the background right now is, a kit. And I want us to get into the kit itself.
Okay.
Because a typical Ghanaian home, I don't think, maybe we might do a survey and we might not even find a lot of homes having, a first aid kit.
Yeah.
You get it? Because these days, even with your cars.
Your cars, yes.
I know the DVLA has been very, very a little bit strict on it these days. I mean, they'll stop you randomly and just ask you, where's your first aid kit? You get it? Where's the fire extinguisher? Only been so hey, we'll bet you off. No, you pay for it.
Yeah,
that's your punishment,
so, So originally, you're supposed to be taken to court, eh?
Yes.
Yes, and fined at court.
Yes.
So that's what DVLA does.
No, you pay for it. On the spot. Because I was stopped and I thought I was the only person.
Yeah, I'm trying to save my people.
Why are you saving anyone? This is what happened on the streets. You get it? And I'm telling you, they have a whole bus, the wine collector. They are just doing, no, let me talk. Because we try. So let me talk. And I'm not the only one. It's checks that they are doing. You are away from that. It's not DVLA we are talking about this morning. Anyways, let's get into the kit proper. What are the essentials in the kit? What are we supposed to have in a first aid kit?
Okay, so the basic things you need to have in the kit, I'll mention a few.
Okay.
But apart from that, there's industry specific. If you have a restaurant, there's a specific first aid kit you should have because of fires. You should have more of the burn dressing in it. If you are a welder, let's say if you are a teacher, if you work with kids, but apart from all these things, you have a standard item that you need to have it. Okay. So this a splint. Okay, for managing bone injuries. Okay. So
how do you use that one?
Okay, you want me to?
If I see this in the first aid kit and I have something, right?
That's the thing, because I would be very shocked Okay,
there are
this is
different types of splints.
okay.
There are finger splints, there are soft splints, there are hard splints. So this is how it looks like.
Okay.
To support a fracture.
The fracture.
Yes,
Okay.
because during fractures we are saying splint and immobilize. We don't want the part that is broken to be moving, causing more harm. Okay, because bone heal by themselves. There's no medicine for bone. Okay. So assuming I can use you for demonstration. Okay. So assuming you have
I've made myself available.
assuming you have a fracture, it could be
Yes.
any kind of fracture.
Okay.
Let's say it's a simple fracture.
Okay.
Okay. So the fracture happened here. This is a splint. Splint are always meant to splint from one joint to another
the
joint.
other.
So we
Okay.
don't want to splint just this part.
Okay.
So I'm going to make my splint properly, and then I'm going to support the fracture this way.
Okay.
If I have a second splint, I would put it over.
Put it over.
If you don't have a splint, I would use my triangular bandage. So this is my
Okay.
triangular. Could you please support yourself? Okay. So before I do all these, I need to take a quick. I need to have a quick look at what is really happening,
Right.
and then do a gentle traction. But let's go straight to the point. So this is my triangular bandage.
Okay.
I'm going to use to support this.
Okay.
So I can make
Oh,
it in any.
triangular.
Yes. This is it.
Ah.
Okay. So whenever you want to apply a triangular bandage, this is the apex. It always goes to the broken part.
Okay.
So this is so the splint is supporting. So this is the apex. So I'm going to go this way.
Okay.
Put this here,
Okay.
and then please come. And then this is going to be here this way. Can you
Okay.
please, yes. And then this is going here this way.
Okay.
Oh, that's what we see.
Okay.
Na oma mi di duku ayama, na
Yeah.
ayaw
Yeah.
here. So this is what I'm going to do. But normally people just place the arms in this kind of triangular bandages. But it's better to put it in a splint to really support the bone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
All
So
right.
this is it. I've supported it. If I have a safety pin, I'm just going to lock this place this way.
Ah.
Okay.
And then this is for fractures.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to take you to the nearest medical center, because we are saying our first aid should end at the nearest medical center. Or when a medic arrives, then your first aid should end. You are just there to stabilize the condition.
Yeah.
Yes. So this is what the splint will do for you. So we improvise so many things. We can use it on your leg. We can even try to, you realize it's foldable. We can
Yeah.
even try to fold it and make a neck color out of it if you suspect you have a bone injury or you have a neck injury. Yes. So this is splint. Okay.
That's a
Interesting. Splint,
triangular
and then
There's
that's
a
a
triangular bandage. You can even
bandage.
fold it to use it just like a crib bandage to apply it anywhere you want to.
Okay.
If it's severe bleeding and all. Okay.
Wonderful.
So this is an emergency blanket. You should have one for hypothermia and shock and all. So this retains heat in the body. It's very big. If I say, it's called an emergency blanket.
Blanket.
Yes.
An emergency blanket
Yes.
it is.
So for hypothermia, some can hypothermia as I
Pacho
said.
Mentiache.
Low temperature.
Oh.
Yes. So someone has low temperature, or you suspect someone it's freezing, or someone falls into shock. Because when people fall into shock, bodies become cold, and you want to cover them to retain
With
heat.
this, it retains
And-
heat.
Yes. And to wear aluminum foil for wedding fried rice or something. Because when I go for trainings, I hope, oh, is that where the wedding? The cottage
Yeah, the infant.
So this so we call it an emergency blanket or a solar blanket.
So this one can cover a whole body.
Yes, it
Used
can
to cover
cover a
the
whole
legs.
body. Oh,
I know
it
it
can
can
cover. So normally you want to cover from the head to the feet. You don't want to cover the head.
From the
So,
neck.
From the neck.
Yes.
You are not dead, so why should I cover your face?
True.
Yes. So cover here to the feet. Once you are sweating, I'll release it a bit. Sometimes you realize people covering this way, especially if they hypothermia, cold temperature. Cover themselves this way with it,
Yes,
and
I've
then
seen that.
you in it.
Yes, I Las Vegas.
Yes. Aha. So you realize
Yes,
in
I
those
like it.
movies when the ambulance comes, they don't have blankets for you. They always give you an emergency
Yes,
blanket
yes.
to cover yourself. Yes. So that's the purpose of it.
Okay. So emergency blanket.
Yes.
But the way it is shiny, if somebody is epileptic, I don't think it's quite shiny, and
yes.
they are triggered with.
There are different colors. There's red, there's blue, there's gold.
Okay. Okay.
We don't have just the shiny
Okay.
thing.
All
yeah.
right.
All right. So these are emergency blankets.
Blankets.
And then you have a first aid guide. You should have a first aid guide in your first aid
Okay.
kit.
Just to guide you as
Yes,
to.
what to do. Okay. And then you should have an instant cold pack. This is a chemical pack. You can feel it. Let me see if I have another. You can
Ice
also
pack.
feel it. Yes.
Okay.
I think I have more.
Emergency.
So we are all going to
This
try.
was
Essential temperature.
Somebody very dear to me. She had nose bleeding,
Okay.
and I think she was giving. Is this
The ice pack. Okay.
the ice pack? Too.
Okay. So we'll talk about
Okay,
bleeding,
okay,
yes. And then we see why probably she was given an ice
Give it.
pack.
Yeah.
So this becomes very cold. You always apply cold compresses on acute pains. So when there's a pain, cold reduces pain and swelling. Anything cold. It could be ice from your freezer. But you don't need to put cold directly on the skin. You want to wrap it in something. Maybe even if you have this.
Okay.
You wrap it in there and then you place it on
Place
the
it
skin.
there.
Yeah.
You don't have to remove it from the rubber.
No, so we are all going to try. You shake it this way. And then you put it in your palm. There are instructions on it. No, you are not massaging. Hit firmly. So it should be cold. It should start turning cold. Mine has
No.
started turning cold. Okay, I'll give mine to you. So, see this.
This is cold.
Why am I on it?
Cold.
Let me see.
No, this is mine.
Let me see.
So what are we doing?
Oh,
Let
what
me
are
try.
we doing?
Let me try mine again.
Okay.
No. Hey,
So
come
you
cold,
need-
come cold.
You need to break it well
Oh,
for the chemical to mix in
Yeah,
it.
that-
Yeah. You need to
sorry.
break it very well for the chemicals
Oh,
to
mine's
mix up.
getting cold. So you have to be very firm.
Yes. So you
Charlie,
hit.
it's in-
So cold.
So if it's a bruise,
Yeah,
it's
so-
something, then you apply directly.
apply
directly
Yes.
to
So
it.
you can
Okay.
use your triangular bandage or a crepe bandage, wrap it around the place.
Yeah.
So this is for an emergency.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, it's very cold.
And the ice is gone. There's not a lot of it inside.
Maybe it will take about 15, 20 minutes before the ice leaves. You see. Okay. So it's called an instant cold pack. Okay.
Okay. Wow.
And then
So you have to have the instant ice
cold packs.
cold
yes,
packs in
or
your
first aid kit.
First aid kit. Yeah.
Okay. And then I also have this one for infection. So I always want to wear my gloves so you don't get infected.
Yes.
You always have your PPEs. So these are my sterile
The gloves,
gloves.
yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
And then I have these parts for wound dressing. So I have my adhesive wound dressing. There's a gauze. Okay. So you've seen it.
Yeah.
So
Is this? Can you call this a plaster?
they are all, but even a plaster is a bandage.
It's a
Bandages are to hold dressing
To
in
hold.
place.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
But Ghana, I find a plaster.
Baby
But if
eye,
you buy it
yeah,
anywhere,
plaster.
it's written bandage. So strip bandage,
Yes.
butterfly wound closure bandage, this bandage,
Sure.
this
Okay.
bandage. Yeah. Okay. And then
Because they made,
you should have a scissors.
Yeah.
So and the gauze you should have. I think I have a few in my car. You should have different kinds of gauze. You should have a 2x2, a 3x3, a gauze roll, a PBT gauze, and then possibly a first aid dressing. But I don't have them here yet. And then you should have these ones for wound dressing as well. So these are an antibiotic cream.
Okay.
Okay. So you apply it directly on wounds. Okay. So you don't apply alcohol on wounds.
Yeah.
So you pick an alcohol with cotton,
Cotton.
and then you don't do that. So you want to clean around the wound, and then I have an alcohol pad here.
So you use the alcohol pack or alcohol
Yes,
with
pad,
cotton to
yes.
clean around the wound,
or an
not on the
antiseptic-
wound.
Yes, not on the
Yeah.
wound. So if it's a small wound, then you want to just wash the wound with soap and water or normal saline. Normal saline is water and salt.
Okay.
So this is assuming I have a wound here.
Yeah.
I want to clean around the wound, or I want to clean very close, in, out, in, out. I don't want to
Yeah.
putting back germs in it.
Yes.
So in, out, I clean all areas around the wound. And then I don't want to apply a plaster. I rather want to apply a gauze on the wound. So I apply a gauze and I use my plasters to hold the
Hold the
dressing.
wound.
If it's a small wound, then I can use a strip plaster and then just apply it, because it looks like some strip plasters have a bit of gauze in them. This is a strip
Yeah.
plaster.
Yeah.
Okay.
In the middle over there.
Yes.
Oh,
So for
yeah.
smaller wounds.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So that's what you use it for. And then you have, this is a disposable thermometer. So once I place it on my forehead, the colors would change and then to reach the temperature.
Is that
So
so?
you can have a
see.
look at it. Yes.
Wow.
So the temperatures are, so it will change from green to blue to red to yellow. So
Can we try one now?
Yes, you can try.
But which one would? How does it? Okay, let's try it and let's see.
So how do we use it?
So
Show
just
us how
apply
to.
it on your forehead. Just take it out.
Jay doesn't have makeup on his forehead, so you can put it on his forehead.
Why makeup would ruin it?
It's not going to ruin it.
Oh no, it will ruin the.
Her makeup, that's what she
Yeah, it will ruin my
your
makeup.
Ah, oh, yo, I'm sorry.
Okay, so I'll try it on myself.
Okay.
Okay.
So temperatures. And you know whenever it's above 37, then it's fever.
It's fever.
Yes. So our normal temperature is 36, 37.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to try it. I don't know if with time the colors will change. I don't know if it will be clear on the
Yes, that's
camera,
it.
but for you, you can
The
see.
35 has become green.
Okay.
The 36 looks plain.
Okay.
There's a color coming in it.
Yeah. So
Okay.
can you also see?
Okay. So 35, 36.
Yes.
Has become green, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's
Okay.
what it does.
So
Okay.
if it goes to
So disposable.
disposable,
I
so
said-
it has
We're
to be
done.
yeah.
Yes.
So if it goes to 40, and
Yeah, no, it's too high.
okay.
Yes. Especially if it's a child and the temperature it's above 37, 38, 39, 40, then it's leading to convulsion. Because high temperatures bring about convulsions. Okay.
Wow.
And then you
And
have
first aid, no bandage, no paracetamol.
and then you have a CPR face shield. Okay,
Oh.
because if you want to do your mouth to mouth, you want to protect yourself.
Okay.
You don't want to have infections, tuberculosis and all after CPR. So this is a CPR face. There's an inscription on it. So this is how it looks like. So I put
put
this
over
in the
it.
casualty's mouth, and it's plastic, so there's no exchange of fluids.
Yes.
And then I blow my air
You blow your air through here.
through here. So this is in the casualty's mouth.
Okay.
This way.
Okay.
So it's called a CPR face shield. Okay. So there are a lot of stuff in there. So this is a safety pin to hold my triangle.
Okay.
bandage. Okay. This is a tourniquet for indirect. This is a tourniquet. There are different types. There's a one that the military uses. It's bigger for indirect bleeding. So if I'm bleeding here, I apply pressure. I could use my tourniquet to also tie this part.
Okay.
So blood from this part coming in will be reduced, so that the bleeding here can be solved faster. Okay. And then you have a tweezer. This is a tweezer.
Yeah.
So if you don't have, let's say, your gloves, I can use my tweezer to hold. Where is this? I can use my tweezer to hold this
Okay.
and then do the dressing.
Do the
Yeah.
I
dressing.
can also use my tweezer to put out splinters in the body.
Okay.
Yes. So that's what the tweezer is used for.
Okay.
Okay. So if I'd say I'd go on. Then
No, as
you-
for this one, at least you've seen the essentials.
We've seen quite a lot, which means that the first aid box that you have only para and plasters in
It's
is
not
not
a first aid kit, yes.
enough. Now, in the absence of all these things, in fact, you just chanced on an emergency. You don't have all these things with you. For instance, let's say it's an accident, but you have an idea of what to do, but you just don't have your things with you. What would you advise?
Okay,
in
so-
different cases, whether it's someone having a convulsion or someone having a seizure, or even as an accident scene.
Okay, so in our first aid, our definition says you want to help someone who is injured or instantly ill using available materials. That's the most important thing, because you might not have these always. If you don't have your available material, your first aid kit, doesn't mean you can't work. No, you should be able to work. So in case of an emergency, assuming it's a road traffic accident, okay, when I get to the scene of, you remember I've said I'm going to check out for danger.
Yes.
So I'll check out for danger first. So if I have, in road accident, I might be suspecting spine injury, bleeding, bruises, broken bones. It happens in road traffic accident. But in Ghana, what normally happens is you see one strong man trying to pull everybody out. And there's one funny thing. I always say Ghanaians are made up of 30 million doctors. Because at the accident scene, there'll be one man or one woman very loud pointing to those who are dead and those that will survive. Have you seen one before?
Recently happened.
And we have camera people.
Yes, we in chain. But these same people, I've seen several accident scenes. people covered with branches of trees and all. And these same people you are transporting, maybe, sorry. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
But you are not Jesus' brother for the second resurrection, right?
Yeah.
So it means there was something you could do to help them, but we didn't know. So it doesn't mean they were dead. And it's not right for you as a first aider or as an individual to pronounce someone dead. It's only the medical doctor. Even nurses can't pronounce you dead. Okay. So when I get to the scene of an emergency, I'm coming back to my accident. I'll make sure the area is safe, get closer to the casualties, try and treat what I can. I don't have to be moving them because at that instant, we have what we call whiplash. Because of the accident, there's an impact to your spine, your neck, your collar, your bone. Okay. So if we go rushing in to pick you up, maybe we might even cause damage to the spine. And once the spine is disrupted, you become paralyzed or you die. So some people come out of accidents, road traffic accidents with no cuts or bruises, but they become paralyzed. Because those who got to the scene of the emergency first didn't manage them properly. So if you realize when people come to manage, especially the fire service in movies, sometimes they want to even cut the car seats and take you with the car seat out just because they want to make sure your spine is straight. So there's a way during our trainings we teach you how to manage spine injuries. If you are 3, you do a log roll. You get a hardwood or a stretcher, you put the person on it. If you are more than 3, if you are 6, 7, then you can easily lift the person, put something hard and flat beneath, and then you look after the person. But it doesn't happen that way. It's unfortunate.
Because I'm looking at how many people have died just because of how they carry them out.
I have.
When
Even
but when it happens to as well, you realize that they'll tell you, oh, sleep this way. That form.
Yes.
Is that one to? Are we supposed? Is there on the right side or the left side? What happens?
It's not really necessary. You have to sleep on the right side or the left side, just for you to relax.
Okay.
And if you are sitting, sometimes it impedes circulation. If you are sitting. Especially when you go through trauma and all.
Yeah.
So they want to, even at the hospital, once they get you there, they bring a stretcher, they want you to lie down. In some conditions, they would bring a wheelchair for you to sit. But for me, I would say it's better to lie, not at a safe place. You just lie down and relax. The same way we do for victims that faint. We want you to lie down, elevate your legs, and you are fine. We don't want you to wash your face with water. Okay.
How about that? Does it do anything?
It doesn't do anything to you. Fainting is just is a form of hypoxia. You just lack oxygen in your body. And then the brain feeds of oxygen mixed up with blood. So if it's not getting enough, then you'd fall. You fall, gravity acts on your body, blood quickly rushes to the upper part of the body and you're fine. So during parades, people faint. After 5 minutes, it's because of this. So if you have a first aider, then we'll shorten the time that the survival. So instead of 5 minutes for you to be there, maybe 3 minutes you'll be up because the first aider was there to assist. Yes. So these basic things are
Very
so as I
crucial.
was saying, an accident, somebody is unconscious. Sometimes they just need a bystander to open their airway, and then they'll start breathing again. But people don't know. Because if you are not breathing 3-6 minutes, what happens to you? You die. If you don't die, you get a permanent brain damage because the fluid that the brain needs, we trust. So these basic things, I mean, it saves lots of lives. Basic, you'll be surprised, just what we are discussing here would end up saving a life, even around you.
Wow.
And now let's go to the CPR.
CPR.
Let's try that right now.
Okay.
So someone would say, oh, someone just drowned and we have to give them CPR. But everybody knows that it's the chest area, so they just go and start pressing. And then, oh, nipa one surviving. I was told that sometimes it's because it's done wrongly. I'm like, CPR is done wrongly. There's a way that is done wrongly. So teach us what's the right way to administer CPR to a victim.
Okay, so we do CPR means cardiopulmonary resuscitation. We only do CPR when there's no breath, no pulse. So the pulse is the rate of your heartbeat, right? Okay. So once you don't have breath and pulse, then you want to do CPR. But if I do my DRSABC, open airway, and check. Okay, so can I put it down
Yes,
here?
of course.
Okay,
We've
so
made way for that.
assuming I have checked for my danger, my response, I sent for help, I'm going to do open airway. So in opening the airway, head tilt, chin lift. Put my palm here, gently lift the head. and then come closer. Remember I said I want to look at the chest. I'm going to check for breath. So I'm going to do this for at least 10 seconds. I'm listening, feeling with my cheeks.
Yeah.
So for at least 10 seconds. Once I realize you are not breathing, then I want to do CPR.
Okay. So, but if you're breathing, you don't need CPR.
No. Okay, so there's normal breath, so not yes. There's not called breathing. Yeah, breathing. Normal. You see somebody doing the guy is not breathing. Yeah, you're in front of breathing.
Okay.
The person is actually gasping
for air. Yes, we call it air hunger.
And with that, do you still need CPR for that?
Yes, you need to give them air and then start CPR. Possibly if they fall unconscious.
So let us know CPR. No, the purpose of CPR is
to circulate blood around the body, especially to the brain. That's the purpose of CPR.
Okay.
So once the brain is getting oxygen mixed up with blood, it means the brain can still function and give direction to other body parts to function properly. If the brain dies, all function stops.
Yes.
So you can do CPR for the next 30 minutes. Papa will want any, but he's not dead. You understand? Because there's still fuel going into the engine. Engine is still operating. Okay.
So now take it through the proper ways.
These are the natural nipples of everybody, right? These are natural. Yes. So in between, you know how your heart is located?
On the left.
Where your heart is located. People say it's located, but your heart starts from here and tilted towards your left breast. Oh, so a 33 middle part and then tilted to tip in the wall. I say, not the whole heart. And see when you see any diagram of the heart, it's tilted. So of course secondary school, no heart's near and running straight. It's always tilted somehow. So that's how the heart looks like. So we are going to do this. We are going to use the heel of our palm, interlock this way, and then place it here.
So the heel of our palm here?
Yes.
Then you do this?
Yes, you interlock it.
Interlock it like
so it could be this way, it could be this way. Any which one you feel comfortable.
But this is the posture of your hand?
Yes, this is what you want to do. Straighten your arm. You want to compress from your chest. You know the song, Staying Alive, Bee Gees. Staying Alive, Staying Alive. You've heard? Yeah, you've not heard it.
She's a Gen Z.
Oh, okay. So it's a Bee Gees song. So that's what we are using, the rhythm.
Okay.
Pa, 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 pa. You get it? So we want to do 30 compressions at the rate of 120 times per minute. So what I mean is by 15 seconds, your 30 compressions is done.
It's done.
Yes. So you should compress, depending on the body size, at least 5 centimeters deep. Into swan, more energy. So you always do CPR on a hard, flat surface. You don't do it on a couch or a foam. Okay. So this is what we want to do. So my heart doesn't beat. It goes faster, even as I'm at rest, between 60 to 90 times as an adult. So this way. So you don't want to also do. You want to allow for a full recoil. Just number so fully. I said bentwa. We all know bentwa.
Yes.
When you press it, it should
then it forces the water out of it. When you stop, then the ones in the line, like the blood vessels, come back to accumulate in the heart. So that you press it to send some more.
Okay.
So you don't want to press it halfway. So so this is the music. So let's go. The same way you don't want to do. No. The same way if it's a woman, you don't want to do.
Yeah.
People do that too. Oh yeah.
The purpose is what?
Yeah. CPR and single spine salary. You get it?
Oh my God! Someone is suffering for crying out loud.
Oh no! People do that. So you do your 30 chest compressions, and ideal thing is open airway, pinch the nose of your casualty, and then give air.
Give air.
Twice. You see it's rising. I release.
So wait, you do the compression before you do this?
Yes. Okay. So we are saying CPR is a combination of 30 chest compressions, 2 rescue breaths, not 2 rescue breaths and 30 chest compressions. 30 chest compressions, 2 rescue breaths. So airway open. If I don't pinch the nose, air comes out of the nose. Airway opened. Hold airway. Don't leave it. Airway open. Pinch the nose. 1. I release. Sometimes even the first time you blow air, you take out your mouth, vomitors, wow, they'll start vomiting.
Yes.
Sometimes people will bring out flames, but at that instance, you don't think about it. You just clean, do a second one.
Jesus.
Yes, because you are thinking about the person surviving, not
You're
those things. You are
no,
saying.
not like this. Oh, God.
So you don't stop CPR until you see sign of movement, or you hand over to a medical personnel. So if it's 30 minutes, I'm still doing it. And if you have an AED available, then it makes chances of survival higher. So this is my AED. So you've seen the bigger ones in movies where they scratch together and then shock you.
Yes, that's it. That's what an AED is.
Yes, so it's called an automated external defibrillator. So it's supposed to be everywhere. I mean, when you go to other countries, lorry stations, police stations, bus stations, train stations, Bagana, you need to. Why we need here? No comment.
No
Okay, so there are inscriptions on it.
Yes.
Okay.
I think I don't have batteries in this.
No batteries.
Okay, there are
No
batteries. Okay, I don't know if it's working. Anyway, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
So there are inscriptions on it. So I'm going to take it off.
Oh, okay.
It's saying I should apply first one here. You can see here.
Yes.
Apply second one where?
Here, on the
chest here.
the chest. Yeah. So they don't go, oh, okay.
And then I put on the machine. The machine gives me verbal command. It's going to check the rhythm of the heart. So it's going to tell you checking rhythm. I can't see it with my eyes. The machine can do it. So it will tell me shock is advised. Shock. This is not going to shock. People think the AED is shock to restart the heart. The AED is shock to stop the heart. For the heart to start beating by itself normally.
Okay.
That's what it does.
Okay.
So high electrical current. So if this guy is there and there's a shock and I touch it, and then the shock comes, I'll be the next victim. Because the shock is very high. So this machine is going to tell you stay clear. It means don't touch the casualty. And then it is shock advice. Then it will start charging. Ping. When it's finished charging, you press the shock button. Boom! It shocks this guy. After shocking, it will tell you to start 5 cycles of CPR. Because this machine is not going to do circulation for you.
Yeah.
So 5 cycles of CPR. 1, 2, 3, 4, 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 30. By the time you do 2, you'll be panting, trust me. You start doing, but you still need to because you want to save this man's life, yes. So that's how you perform your CPR. So remember CPR, no breath, no pulse. So drowning, cardiac arrest, anaphylactic shock, all those things. If you don't have breath, then you need to start CPR. So people think it's just cardiac arrest now, yes, CPR, but no. Once the person has no breath, no pulse, you need to start. If the person is breathing normally and the person is fine, then you want to put the person in a recovery position. Okay. So that is it about CPR.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
But this is not an easy thing to do.
It's never easy.
It's not an easy thing.
never easy.
So to bring someone to life, like Nanado told us, he doesn't know how to do that. Because even the simple medical ways to do it, it's not a joke.
It's intense. It's really
It's
intense.
not a joke.
It's really intense.
So in a case where I don't have this,
Then you need to do hand-only CPR.
continuously and make sure
Yes,
that
continuously.
you
So
see the person resuscitated. Is that what you
Air
call it? Yes.
release,
Yes.
Nose.
nose,
Work.
blowing,
Yes.
release.
Yes.
Air release, nose,
So twice.
blowing, release.
That's after you've done 30
30 of this.
Yes, 30 chest compressions.
chest
yes.
compressions.
So you only stop the compression when there's any sign of movement. Or the person opens his eyes, coughs, then it means you've done the right thing.
Yeah.
So even if I start 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the guy, I should stop. In fact, 5, 25, and then count. You get it? Because I want to resuscitate you,
him.
and I have achieved it.
So there's no way when the person responds, like how you just responded, would go back into
It's
the
possible
first
you
stage.
go back into that condition. It's
Whoa.
very possible.
Then you have to go.
You have to
again.
start all over again.
My God.
Because you did say that when you do that, then you stop. When you get that response, then you just stop.
Stop, yes.
You just stop because
The person is
the person has.
responsive now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if the person is not responding again back,
Yes.
then you go back again.
Go
You
back
have
again.
to start again.
No, it's not an easy job, first of all.
Wow.
So, let me ask this one because I was thinking about it. I'm like, okay, so someone looks like they've passed
Out.
out and they're just involved in an accident. And we've talked about the fact that there could be possible
The spine
fractures.
injury, yeah.
So do I go into the CPR
Yes,
mood
you
again?
can still do CPR. That's why you do your DRS ABC. So sometimes you open airway and the person is fine. So in our first stage, I mean, we can't do all these things here. There are certain conditions we want to do head to toe check, and then want to do a jaw thrust instead of an airway opening. Yes. So there are methods for every condition. So the obeshabia now also the yes. So it's we can't discuss everything here.
Everything here.
Yes.
So we have started the education. Let's continue researching. And Diana, my colleague, she always says that right now there's Google. Don't be lazy about it, because it's already a lazy job to go to be Googling certain things.
Yeah.
But now that it's been made available to you, make sure you make use of it. We have some few messages, and then we'll continue the conversation and probably wrap up after that. So we have a message coming from the influencer Osaibia. Sorry. Good morning, family. Great education on first aid this morning. We need these tips streaming every day on all our channels. Please don't stop here. Well done. Thank you. Oh, that's so kind of you. That is very, very kind of you. And someone decides to do politics this morning. No Baumia this morning. Thank you. I'm sorry, but let's focus on the conversation. I'll read your message later. Don't worry. I'll read your message later. So this one was pertaining to what we're doing, so I had to touch on that. But what's actually wowed me was that ice pack anyway. But this entire education, like I told you, my colleague has been very worried. We need those people with the education on the fire extinguishers, because that's where his problem started from. Like, oh, first aid is also included. But thank you so much for coming through with this education. Are there any platforms that the first aid, you said you're with the
Care Unit First Aid Services.
Service. Is there any platform that you people put all these educations on because of innovation now, because of technology now? Do you explore all these platforms? And
Yes, we are on Facebook, First Aid, Care Unit First Aid Services, Instagram, TikTok, I think. Even if you search Google,
Yes.
First Aid, Care Unit First Aid Services, you'd find our numbers, our emails, everything there.
You have
So if
videos and stuff that you
Yes,
put on?
we do have videos of trainings we conducted some time ago.
Okay.
CPR, fainting, shock, all those. We have short videos on them. But
Wonderful.
you need to get a proper training and then
Yes.
get certified.
Yes.
Yes.
So you train people.
Yes, we train and then we
Okay.
certify you for any
Awesome.
kind of job.
So we should just go on your platforms
Yes,
and
if you
send
want
in a message,
training,
and
yes,
we'll definitely
we'll get back
get
to
through
you.
to you. How about you personally? Do you do any of the education on your platforms? How can we connect with you if we want to learn out a few things from you directly?
Yes, we do. Sometimes, as I said, I take short recordings of various trainings we do, and
Yes.
then let's say if it's fainting, we have a write-up on it, and then a short video on it.
Yeah.
So whenever you visit any of our pages, you get
Your
to see
pages.
some of them.
So
Yeah.
care
Care Unit
Unit
First Aid
First
Services.
Aid
Once you
Services.
search Google Care Unit First Aid Services, you'd find all our platforms. Google will give you everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
But with the kits as well, this is an extensive of what we normally have in our homes and all that. This particular kit, is it available?
Yes, it's available on the market.
Okay.
And apart from that, you could also get it from. You could see our logo here.
Yeah.
So this are our personal first aid
Yeah.
kits.
Oh,
But
wonderful.
apart from that, you could get different sizes, different shapes for your car, your office, your
Yeah.
home. Yes. And I think you should also even kids. We had school first aid clubs as young as 3 years.
Yes.
When something cuts the mom,
Yes.
mommy, apply pressure to.
Yes.
Where did you learn it? At school. So
Yes.
we should start
Yes.
with them early.
With them
yeah.
early. That's what you advise. So education from the basics. The little children should know some of these things, because they're
Yes.
the ones who get
A lot.
And I'll give you a story before we wrap up. My son went to cut himself, and he knows that it was beating time because he went to cut himself, and he was asked not to go there. And he applied pressure. And he was standing with the thing, but the cut was pretty deep. So now the blood was oozing on the side.
Okay.
And he was standing there and he was hiding. So he hid it in his pocket, and the blood is showing in his pocket. My mom started shouting, "What's going on? What's going on?" All for us to realize, he went to cut his hand, and it was deep. But because he knows these things, he
Yes,
started
it's-
applying
yeah.
pressure to it first. And then again,
Thinking that, oh,
simple
that
question.
will
Where did you,
happen.
who told you that you could do it? He said when you catch yourself, you apply pressure, the blood
That-
will stop.
that-
I
yes.
said, I rather cried.
That
Yes,
is it.
so, but then again, that's an education that,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
it definitely could help anyone.
Yeah.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Mr.
you
Ato,
too.
for coming through. This has been extensive intense. And now I know that that thing people do is not an easy thing.
Yes, it's
so
never
kudos to all
easy.
of you. Aim, we are ice back. Aim, we are ice
Need
back.
utility.
I know you are. Me too. I was like, because when my sister was bleeding from the nose and they gave it, I was like, being crazy. But it was cold, so I thought they brought it cold.
Yeah.
I didn't know that all this work had to go into it.
Yeah.
Again, Miss Alto, thank you so much. And for you out there, I hope you've learned something from what we did today, because we are doing this for you. We're doing this so that you know that some of these things are very essential for our daily lives. Thank you so much for being a part of this segment of the show. We're going straight to the plug right after this.